we will record it and then it's gonna be on YouTube, right? You can watch the presentation on YouTube. So I want you to start, or I want you to share with you our agenda. We will start at 3 and we finish around 4, right? We have core topics is how do I feel? Is this important? Students' needs and building positive relationships. Those are going to be the core topics that we are going to be discussing or we're going to be talking today. Okay, it's going to be a very interactive presentation. If you would like to share in the WhatsApp, in the chat box here, please let us know. So, but let's start with emotions, right? So, could you imagine? So, thinking about your classrooms 2 years ago, how did you feel? Arriving to your classroom, what emotions did you have, right? What feelings did you have, right? Were you excited? Were you happy? Were you engaged? Were you motivated? Or were you like, all right, this is what I have to do. This is my job. I hope the last one is not the answer, right? It doesn't have to be a job. It has to be a passion where you do it as a job. So with every new situation, feelings affect human behavior. So now could you imagine our students, so ourselves, when we realized that we had to teach virtually? How do we know that the person behind the screen is feeling happy? How do I know that the person behind the screen is not hungry, is not feeling sad, is not feeling not motivated, right? Is not feeling, with the enthusiasm to join the class? Or how do the students know that the teacher is feeling in this way, right? So we as a teacher, we also have feelings. We have emotions that will affect our behavior. And in this case, is our teaching style, right? So if we are sad, we're gonna go to no matter we're in front of the screen, we are gonna be sad. We are gonna be doing like, okay, that's fine, it's my class. 2 hours, but I need to be here. And students will check that. Students will check that. Students check everything, every single thing. And that's why later we're gonna be talking about some ideas that you probably will be applying, or probably you know it, but are useful and have been using that in my classes. And my students at the end of the quarter, they have shared what I would really like was the humor of your class. That was what we really like it, right? And then our emotions are negative in the moment. And if our emotions are negative in that moment, we are less likely to engage in new activities or tasks, okay? Negative emotions will bring demotivation, will bring this kind of, could be not interest in opening the camera. I want to see a real person. I want to see you smile. I want to see you are there, no matter what's going on around you, but I want to see you there, right? But if we are teaching, if we are opening our classes, we are doing any kind of virtual connection, and we bring this kind of okay moment, this is transmitted. I don't know how magically is that, but through that screen, people would observe how we feel, right? The way we sit, the way we talk, the way that we, movement, gestures, everything. And that's why your emotions count in every single thing you do. Just a tip, before opening your class, before starting, before, accepting people, right? Before clicking on join, try to have something, try to practice something that will increase that kind of motivation. Practice breathing exercises, stretching. Importantly, I can tell you that I cannot start my classes if I don't have tea with me, cinnamon tea. That helps me to feel relaxed. Oh, that's fine. That helps me to feel, kind of ready. And I need to have, I didn't do it today, but I need to start my classes by listening to music. That's the first thing my students will get or will receive once I open my classroom. One day is classical music, another day is jazz, the next day is, I don't know, is reggaeton. I don't know, something that connects with the class, right? So I open my class with something that will make me feel relaxed, you know, calm and ready. Okay? Important, check that your house is in peace before opening your classroom. Okay? That's very important. So then what my message here is that emotions, play important role in this, new way of teaching, new way of learning. Remember, we are teachers and we are learners, right? Right now, we are learners. Probably tomorrow we're going to be teachers, or we were teachers, it will depend on the date, but we are going to demonstrate our feelings through the screen, right? All right, that's important. So another important thing is that I said about humor, right? Humor can change the culture of the classroom. Humor reduces the stress in the students and humor promotes creative thinking. When we say humor, it doesn't mean that you have to be laughing every time, but it's connected. It is connected. For example, I can tell you that my Fridays is a day where everybody is allowed to wear what they want. They can wear their crazy hat, the crazy cap. They can wear that T-shirt that they probably, wanted to do it to wear, and somebody brought it something special. And I can tell you that one of the things that I do is that I collect bells, and every class, I start my class with a different belt. And I explain to my students, hey, this bell is from this place, or somebody brought it to me from this place. And they say, oh, really? And then it's like breaking that ice that we do not have to start like, okay, today the topic is about ta 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 ta. And that is like, imagine, if in the real or in our past teaching experience that I hope would come up soon, you just come into the class, opening, this is the topic. So now being here for 3 to 4 hours, I don't know how many hours in front of the screen and doing the same, things has to change. Things have to change. We have to make it something different. So in my case, I can tell you, I asked the students to bring, to do something. And something we did a grammar party, right? We did a grammar party where we play bingo, where we had a DJ, where we were like I had music, we had lights, everybody, decorated his or her own area with something, right? But like connecting that kind of sense of humor to the class, but learning. It has to be fun, but with a purpose. In my grammar party, we play bingo with the verb tenses. That was the purpose, right? And then I think that is important. And I can tell you that every single month, students were asking, what is the next grammar party about? And they knew it. It's not a party, but with a purpose. It's a party with a purpose. There is something about learning that you need to know that is going to happen. So, and I think it's important. Try to connect humor in your classes. And importantly, we are human beings and we have things happening behind this screen. Our life is being affected. We have been facing many challenges, but guess what? This is our time. We are the artists, and this is the show. So you will not come to your public, to your audience, to your fans without a smile. Smile is the key to connect to others. And wherever you go and you want a favor, you just smile and people will help you. All right. So smiling helps us to connect. All right. And just asking them, how do you feel today? You know, but how do you feel today? Not talking about the negative things. Because right now, everybody is focusing, we are experiencing a very negative movement and environment. And of course, it happens. But my how do you feel today is how do you feel today about learning? How do you feel today about what you're doing? How do you feel today about things that you have been doing you're great about? What made you smile today? You know, my cat was watching on me and I didn't realize that. So something like that. And this is part of connecting humor. Another thing that I do is that I use a lot of brain teasers. Brain teasers, I love them. I love them. I send them through, depending on the connection, through the WhatsApp group, platform, or email, and I send them the brain teasers for the class. And they have to work on that. And before, going into the the academic part of the lessons, we have to solve the brain teaser. And I remember one of the brain teaser that was very funny for them, and some of them like, teacher, we had to go to Google and we went searching and we didn't realize that it was really simple. What is in the middle of China? And everybody went like, what is in the middle of China, on Google, what is in the middle of China? And when we came to the room, to the class, teacher, what is in the middle of China? Come on, letter I, China, letter I is in the middle of the word China. And they were, oh my gosh, that is so funny. But the idea is that make it fun, right? China, letter I, and they thought they had to go on Google and look in China map and find what is in the middle of China. And those things makes the class, kind of creative, funny, and with a sense of humor. And of course, gamification. I think gamification plays an important role in the class. Of course, not in every single topic, because not every single topic allows us to do that. But with gamification, I have realized that my students are very, very engaged. They never miss a class. And they told me at the end, teacher, when we had in person, we missed a lot of classes. Virtually, we have not missed any class. But it is because of gamification. You include a game or an activity, every other week in your classes. There are a lot of sites that I can share with you later that I love in order to do this kind of challenging things, gamification, right? So important, add this kind of sense of humor to your class, okay? Is important, is very important. That helps you to relax and that helps your students to, calm. Something that I can tell you, I practice this with my hands. I put these hands, okay? If you do it, you put this 10 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then I put it this way 10 times. And that's kind of relaxing when they are like 2 hours, 3 hours sitting here. Or breath in, breath out. 10 times. Play instrument, music, meditate. Like adding these kind of things will help us. 5 minutes. We just need 5 minutes to do this. and then reconnect with the class. Okay. Is this important? Is this important? What do you think? Is this important? It is important to, um, to create a positive environment. Is this important to make me feel that I am enjoying what I'm doing? That is the first thing. I am the artist. Yeah, I am the person that will demonstrate, that will have, that will show that what is going on is important, right? There should be this kind of um, um, there should be this statement. What we're doing right now is because we have a common goal. You have a goal as a student, you have a goal as person, I have a goal as a professor, as a teacher, as a learner. So if we have a clear goal, this is important, right? But if there is no goal, if there is no there is no way to go, there is no reason to open a camera for 2 or 3 hours and start doing things. But it is important because what we do, will have an impact in different fields. But they should know why they come to the class. They should know why they, open up internet, what they log in, things like that. There should be what makes this important for them. Why, they spend the morning, the afternoon. There should be a goal, right? They want to learn, they want to go, and don't waste the time. They don't want to miss a year. So then with that common goal, there is a feeling of, what I'm doing values. There is a feeling of what the teacher is doing counts, because it's more work for the teacher now. It's more work for the student, but we have a goal, and because of that goal is what motivates us to be here. The more we tap on the student's goal, the more they will be engaged in what we do. Every time you want them to be engaged in what we do, talk to them about their goals. What is that kind of motivation? What is that kind of thing that pushes him or her to be here, to connect, to join? And once we refresh that, there should be that kind of engagement in what we do, right? That is very important. Okay, so this is important, of course, it's very important, but we have to do it thinking that we are human beings and that we are learners. There will be students that will be helping us. There will be students or there will be people in the room that probably will identify how to do this instead of doing that. And it has happened to me, right? Hey, I don't know how to make this, no, teacher, you can go and do that. And that's why we have a common goal. We are learners. We are learners. We are a community and we work as a team. Once we have that clear, that will help us, to have a common goal. What happened with transitions? What happens with transitions? In in-person classes, it was very easy, right? You say, all right, from now group of 3, group of 5, group of 4, group of 5. How can I make this transition from one activity to another activity, right? Because my class is not just talk and talk and talk and talk. I need to have a transition, I need to have the plan, I need to have my agenda, I need to have what is going on. All right. There are some tools that allow us to create small rooms, right? There are some tools that allow us to break out them into groups, but there are others that would probably use that they don't, right? But how can I make this transition? There should be a transition with a purpose, with a structure, right? The structure. We finish this. Now we are going to work on that. Probably if we are not using this kind of, tech tool, do it at home. And in 5 minutes or in 10 minutes, we come back and connect again, but you need to bring something. There should be a purpose and a structure with clear instruction, right? Clear instruction and what I want you to know and how do I know that you understood me, right? How do I know that you understood me? What I do is that I randomly select somebody in the group and say, okay, tell me in your words what I said, right? Tell me in your words what I said. Tell me what you have to do. Tell me what is going to happen in 10 minutes if you are not going to, if you cannot separate them into groups. But if you separate them into groups, of course, as teacher, as professor, facilitator, instructor, you visit the rooms in order to check that what is going on. So transitions in this kind of new way of learning and teaching makes an important role. Do not ask them to do things because you want them to do, right? What is the purpose of doing this? With that, I use a very simple and common, I can tell you, planning or structure is I do, we do, you do. That is what I do in my classes. I do is the way that I introduce the class, the topic. The we do is the everything we do in group. Everything I want them to work together in collaboration, in groups, in teams. But the you do is how do I know that they understood my topic or my objective? And they have to prove or show me that they know on their own what I am asking them to do with clear instruction, with purpose. But importantly, now time is not our friend. Time is pushing us to use it wisely. So do not ask them to do extensive or long tasks, very short tasks. Remember that right now what I want, what we want them is to accomplish the objective by asking them or letting them, share what was asked them to do. So it's very important. Do not ask them to write long stories, long tasks. We want them to use what they have learned, what I as a teacher introduced them in my part, what they practice in group, and now what they do individually, right? That's very important for the transitions. And students' needs, what do they need? What do they need? So imagine what you need right now. We have been talking for more than 25 minutes. We are tired, right? We have to do movements, virtual learning movement, stretching, move your hands. Why not? Do it, right? Do movements. That is important. We don't have to be like this. We are not in this kind of conferences where we have to be sitting like a robot. No, we are human beings. Our body needs to move, stretch. I like to do this activity 10 times. This helps you a lot, your hands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And another one is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you will realize 10 times how you feel, how your arms feel relaxed. Breath in, breath out. 10 times, that helps. I tell them, go drink water. If you have water, tea, do it, but do not keep them as robots, as machines. The machine that is helping us right now. Drink Turkish coffee. Oh my gosh, I would love to do that. I love. There is a class that is close there. It's called Bring Your Chocolate or Tea. Just that. Where people need to bring, their favorite mug. They decorate it, they paint it, but they need something. They need the physical movement. Meditation, 3 minutes meditation. Close your eyes, listen to music. So these things help a lot to change that kind of mood, to change that kind of environment, to motivate the students to come back, right? To motivate the students to open their cameras, because they sometimes they are with their cameras, lock cameras, and we don't know if they are paying attention. We don't know if they are there. And I used to tell, I want to see people's body, spirit, and soul. So open your cameras, smile, and you are live. We start the class as in a show. That's the way. This is the show. We are live, and I am the facilitator, and I have to be creative, but do not have your students like there. I have a nephew, and my nephew is taking classes from 7 a.m. until noon. And this poor boy, every time I talk to him and say, oh my God, I don't know when it's gonna end. And I said, because it's class, class, class. And I said, hey, why don't you ask your teacher to dance? Teach Tai Chi, right? Meditation, yoga, something like that. This is the opportunity. Cook together. Now you can have your classes in your kitchen, right? So do so. Or let's see, or now we have the great opportunity to do many things at home, and we are teaching. So another important thing is that, demonstrate enthusiasm. That's what they need. Demonstrate that you care about them. Demonstrate that you are here. Demonstrate that you're really happy. It's not like, okay, we are happy, smile, but it's not smiling what makes you, demonstrate you're happy. It's the way you talk, it's the tone of voice, it's the way you express your ideas, it's the way you move your hands, it's the way that you project. That is how it makes you feel engaged and makes others perceive or receive that connection, that kind of energy. I tell them it is a time to share energy because, in the lockdowns right now here in Panama, we are in lockdown. We cannot go out. So I need people's energy to feel more active and then do things that will motivate them to receive that energy, right? To receive that energy. So I think that is something that students need. And importantly is that at the end of this, student need the teacher, the human being. Students need that person. Students need us. Students need the person that feel that it's okay to say, today I'm not feeling well to have the class, let's move it to a different day. The students need to know that we are not perfect. The students need to know that we can make mistakes. The students need to know that we were not prepared to do this, that this was just like day night is here, let's do it, right? But we are doing our best. They need to know that we care about them by learning, by doing our best. They need to know that we are human, that we cry, that we are feeling the same situation as they are feeling, that we're not perfect. Students need to know that, right? And we need to know, depending on the level where you teach, we need to know that they have family, right? The students need to know that we care about their families. Students need to know that, that what's going on will affect the whole family. And that probably, for example, in Panama, in some areas, they don't have connection. They don't have, tech devices. And we need to understand that today they could not connect, but probably tomorrow they will. So we have to be human beings. We have to know that, that what's going on is not just me, is the world that is facing that, okay? But how can we build positive relationships? How can we build that? How do we build that? We build positive relationship just by showing interest, right? In what we do, as I mentioned before, showing interest in what we do. Be yourself. We have to be yourself. You know, well, ourselves, and you have to be yourself. You have to ask them questions. For example, I want you to answer this question right now. What kind of class you like? I like a class that. Answer that question, please, quickly. I like a class that. How can we interact here in the chat box? I like a class that is happy. Very good. I like a class that respect me. Excellent. That is engaged. Amazing. Wonderful. What else? I like a class that approve colleagues in. Okay. Oh no, please approve colleagues in waiting. There are some people waiting here. I like a class. I like a class where I want to be, right? Where I want to come back, where I want to stay, where I'm not checking the time, where I'm not like, oh my gosh, oh, 5 minutes to finish. That is the kind of class that I like. All right. So asking them this kind of question will build that kind of positive relationship. Another question you can ask them is, for example, I wonder a lot about. I wonder a lot about what? About. I wonder a lot. Some people will say about what's gonna on next week. I wonder a lot. So it's like bringing that kind of the real person, the real me, right? The real answers. What I think, what we talk in our real lives, right? So that is important. How we will that? And most importantly is that there are many students, there are many teachers with lots of resources, and there are students and teachers with, poor resources or low resources. Treat everybody equally. Those who have, resources and those who don't. They deserve respect. They are making a big effort to connect, right? If they cannot watch my PowerPoint, it's okay. I'll send them the pictures. I'll send them email. I'll send them on the platform. But we have to treat them equally. If they cannot open their camera because their tech device is not working well, it's okay, right? But we have to know that there could be the side where with people with lots of resources, but there is a side with people with nothing. And both deserves quality education, quality treatment. Both deserve your teacher, their teacher, their the same treatment. They deserve the best, and they are facing and experiencing the same situation as everyone else. So that's very important. So I think that it is a time, and I would like you to invite to come to Panama, to visit when we are back into the not the normal life, the new life with better persons, with a better world, with a better everything, right? So if you can follow us on Instagram, you can follow us on adlets.com. I'm sorry, adlets_Panama. And we have a Facebook. Facebook is Learning Training Solutions. I'm going to be sharing that with Gina. At the same time, you can follow us. We do a lot of teacher training virtually, and we are doing a lot of things. And I think that this is an opportunity to um, to share, and do not be afraid to ask for help, right? Do not be afraid to ask for help. There are many people that will be willing and happy to support you and help you. And I want to um, congratulate Gina for taking this leadership and this initiative to connect people with different from different part of the world. Together we're better. Connected we can get great things. And when we are united, there is nothing we cannot do. Thank you very much for your time. If there is any question, this is my beautiful country, and thank you very much. For any question, please let me know.
Thank you so much. That's awesome. That was amazing. Does anyone have any questions? Anyone have any questions for Joel?
Hello, Gina. Hello, Professor. Thank you for this excellent session. Really, we benefited a lot. The most important thing is feelings, emotions. Students and human beings forget information, skills, things like this. All things are forgotten. But the good manner, the good treatment, feeling, making people feel that they are human beings, this is will start forever. This they will remember this their whole life. And thanks for this great and informative session. Thank you very much. Hello, Gina. You hear me?
I hear you. All right. Yes, I think it was a very motivating session. Um, all right. If you have questions, please ask or put them in the chat box, and we will talk about them. I think Shadam, you had a question near the beginning. Did you get your question answered, or do you still have it?
I have here Amelia. Amelia was my student. Oh, I'm very glad to see you, Amelia.
Okay, well, I have a few slides that I wanted to share with everyone, just to let everyone know what's coming up soon with TTLT. So I wanted to let you know that we have another workshop that's coming up near the end of the month. And this one is going to be on how to start an English club. And Katam and Maria are going to talk about their English club that they started in Los Angeles. So please come to that one, and it's going to start at 1:30 in the morning GMT, but 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, which means that it'll be at 9:30 on the East Coast. So Eastern Standard Time, 9:30 p.m. And I also I've talked about this a few times, but I wanted to make sure everyone knows that we're starting TTLT Talks. And I hope many of you have already registered, but this is going to be a monthly discussion with English language teachers on the last Saturday of every month. And that means that the first one is going to be January 30th at 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And we're going to be talking about issues that are related to our field. We're going to discuss ideas for future TTLT episodes. So what is most important to you? Who would you like us to interview? What would you like to learn more about? So that's the topic for this month, is to kind of get your ideas about what you would like to learn more about, what you would like to talk more about, and what we can do to make TTLT even better and more useful for you. And if you haven't already, you can go to our workshop page at ttlt.org and sign up to join us for TTLT Talks. We also have workshops coming up in February. Kira, who's going to be on the episode next week, is going to be talking about Notions. So she's going to explain how do a whole workshop on how to use Notions, what we can do with Notion. And so I hope that you'll come to this workshop. On Monday, February 8th at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, which means it'll be at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I see that somebody has their hand up. And let me see, I can't read the chat right now, but someone had their hand up. What was your question? No? All right.
Hello,
then I will go on.
Hello, Gina.
You had a question? Go ahead.
Gina, would you please supply us or provide us with certificates, please?
I will be providing certificates of participation to people who were here from the beginning. Yes. Okay. But that comes at the end. Please be patient. Okay. All right. All right. I also wanted to let you know that this week's episode is on how to use music in the classroom. So this week on TTLT, we'll be talking about this. And then Eileen, who is a new member of TTLT, is going to be giving a workshop on using music. So she'll go into more depth on what she's talking about in this week's episode. She will be doing a workshop on using music in the classroom on February 26th. Okay. So, and of course, if you're enjoying TTLT and you have the means and would like to donate, we have several ways that you can help us keep TTLT going. So you can go to patreon.com/TTLT or gofundme.com/TTLT or paypal.me/TTLT. So please don't be shy if you would like to donate. We would love to have all the donations we can get to keep TTLT going. And if you would like to join our team, you can join us at ttl.org, leave us a voicemail or send me a message at ttltinfo@gmail.com. Subscribe to our podcast and YouTube channel, join our Facebook group, which is called TTLT. Follow us on Twitter at TTLT1 and Instagram t.telt. So thank you for participating. And now I will give you the information for the feedback form. Okay, let's do